Good evening, you're watching Kenya's third most preferred TV station. This is Switch TV News at 7. I am Lincoln Ombugwa. Our sign language interpreter is Michael MATHIRA. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Switch TV Kenya. Send in your feedback and comments to our SMS line 111 and at Lincoln Ombugwa and at Switch TV Kenya. These are the highlights. The exercise in search of 4 IEBC commissioners officially comes to an end after 12 days of rigorous vetting. Protests rock MATHIRA constituency after the arrest of legislator RIGATHI GACHAGUA. Tokyo Games finally get underway with a 4-hour extravaganza in a stadium filled with empty seats. Glad you're watching. Well, 30 minutes of the broadcast begins now. The opening ceremony for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic kicks off today after a year of delays, setbacks and embarrassments. The ceremony begins with the stadium being lit and a couple of colorful performances, these being the most traveled Olympics in the modern history. Fireworks were released at the Japan National Stadium, getting the games underway. Take a look. Now back home, MATHIRA Member of Parliament RIGATHI GACHAGUA will have to spend this weekend in remand after he was arrested early today at 4 a.m. in his home in Nyeri. GACHAGUA is accused of registering 49 companies that he allegedly used to win tenders worth more than 12 billion shillings. Nemekene Samuel reports.
Protests, fire, placards, all because of this man RIGATHI GACHAGUA, MATHIRA Member of Parliament. Running battles in MATHIRA constituency has been witnessed today after the area Member of Parliament was arrested.
There has been a lot of double standards. We have seen several other scandals which are not being prosecuted. The COVID billionaires, they have never been taken to court.
The United Democratic Alliance Party has accused the government of intimidating its leaders after the DCI detectives arrested RIGATHI GACHAGUA, a key component of the party. UDA allied leaders claim Kiamba by-election has motivated the government to torment those with a contrary opinion.
We shall not allow is a few power-hungry individuals to take us back to extremely dark days where chiefs and provincial administration were used to subvert the will of the people.
We have information that there is a high-level conspiracy in government to execute a scheme that is aimed and or will inevitably culminate in grave threats to the safety and well-being of the citizens of Kenya.
The MATHIRA legislature was taken in for probing at the DCI headquarters at around 9:30 after being transported from Nyeri County. He was arrested at 4 a.m. by almost 20 detectives.
The Inspector General is hereby put on notice that should anything go wrong on account of police executing illegal political assignments, he will be held to account both locally and internationally.
He has been accused of registering 49 companies that he allegedly used to win tenders worth more than 12 billion. GACHAGUA has, however, denied the claims. Exactly a year ago, the High Court froze more than 200 million into accounts belonging to the MP. RIGATHI spent 5 years as Uhuru Kenyatta's personal assistant in the early 2000s, but is now one of the president's fiercest critics. The MP first tasted power when he was appointed the Assistant Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs and National Heritage.
Na tungetaka kuambia wenzetu wale walikuwa wanaogopa, wanatishwa na Matiang'i, wanatishwa na Kebicho, wanatishwa na Kenoti, wawache uoga.
He had earlier undergone paramilitary training at the Administration Police Institute that prepared him for a career in the government. The United Democratic Alliance supporters and leaders are saying Kamata Kamata Fridays are back with us. Namkana Samuel, Switch TV, Kiambu County.
Thank you, Namikene Samuel. The exercise in search for Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC commissioners who will replace Rosalind Akombe, Connie Miner, Margaret Mochanya and Paul Kurgut has officially come to an end. Rosalind Doreen, former deputy chairperson of the Judges and Magistrates Association before the 7-member panel, denied graft allegations during her tenure. Caroline Simmer with the story.
Thank you so much, Prof. Allow me to ask you if you are a registered voter.
The oral interviews in search of 4 Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC commissioner positions has officially come to an end.
We have now concluded the oral interviews for the position of member of the IEBC.
Rosalind Doreen, former deputy chairperson of the Magistrates and Judges Association, before the 7-member panel denied graft allegations she was accused of in participating during her tenure.
Mr. Oduor Kizito stated that, you worked for the Judges and Magistrate Vetting Board, during which you engaged in corruption and soliciting and receiving bribes from judicial officers who appeared before you. What would you tell this panel?
The complaint really distressed me because it is totally untrue and unfounded. I have never in my entire career solicited for a bribe.
Richard Okot, the first candidate to be interviewed today, says if he is given the chance to be an IEBC commissioner, he will ensure Kenya transitions to 100% voting using technology comes 2027.
Professor, in your view, the country is ready for use of technology in election?
The country is ready.
Yeah.
All we need to start right now is making frameworks and platforms so that we can sample this in 2027 and go and have a blended electoral, voting in 2032. A minimum of 8.
A total of 660 people applied to replace Rosalind Akombe, Connie Miner, Margaret Mochanya, and Paul Kurgut, out of which only 36 were shortlisted. 35 candidates ended up being interviewed after one withdrew his candidature. Caroline Suma, Switch TV.
Thank you, Caroline Simmer. It's a relief for Kenya Clinical Officers KUCO as the National Insurance Hospital Fund NHIF comes to an agreement how their officers can be signatories for clients who use the NHIF covers on condition that the diagnosis is part of their scope of training and specialty. Following these, KUCO have suspended the anticipated demonstrations scheduled for the next 3 Thursdays. Mariam Jahid with more details.
It's 5 years since the ministerial directive that gave the Kenya Clinical Officers the mandate to be involved in diagnostic and treatment of patients in primary health care so as to achieve universal health coverage in line with the President Big Four agenda. However, the National Hospital Insurance Fund failed to comply with the directive, and for the past 3 days, the KUCO officials have been demonstrating, issuing threats that should the directive not be adhered to any longer, they will withdraw their services.
Kama chama cha kutetea maafisa tabibu nchini Kenya, tumekuwa na taswishi na mambo ya kusukumana na huu mfuko wa kitaifa mambo ya kulipia wagonjwa ama bima ya afya, na tukaweza kuanzisha mchakato huu tangia mwaka wa 2017. Kwa sasa tukiangalia ni karibu miaka 5.
Today, tables have turned and NHIF beneficiaries have something to be happy about, as their medical treatment at their local clinic will be achieved after the National Health Insurance Fund Board finally accepted to recognize the registration of health facilities that are under Kenya Clinical Council.
The biggest win is to Kenyans, to Wanjiku, to the common Kenyan. Because what this means now is that we are making steps towards ensuring universal health coverage. Clinic officers are found virtually in every village in this country. And if they will be able to put up a facility, and it will be supported by NHIF, which you know is the best purchaser because even the lowest Kenyan can actually be able to afford. If then we are going to have the services of that specialist clinic officer, who we also know you are going to find in every corner of this country, it means that we are improving access, we are improving quality, and most of all, we are making healthcare of quality to be affordable to that common MWANANCHI down there.
As NHIF complied with COCO demands on clinical officers to include them in the biometric registration within 7 days, the fingerprint identification for NHIF beneficiaries is still ongoing.
So far, we have just in excess of about 1 million, but it is ongoing as it is a very dynamic process that is ongoing at any time. Because even as we speak, any member who is accessing services at the hospital is able to register before accessing the service.
It is a win for the Kenya Clinical Officer after they sealed a deal with the National Hospital Insurance Fund, as their demands were addressed and they will be implemented within 7 days. Mariam Jahid, Switch TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Mariam Jahid. Meanwhile, families in the low-income neighborhoods of Kisauni, Mombasa County are using a virtual community currency known as SARAFU to sell and pay for food, among other items, an initiative that has sustained them amid the coronavirus pandemic. Harriet Shumer has more.
Life in Kisauni, Kadongo, Mombasa County is that of hardship. But in the heart of this Mjambere village, a community initiative currency called SARAFU, meaning coins, has been developed to help the community stay afloat.
Tumia sarafu hiyo, kusema ukweli, sioni kama ina ubaya. Maana kama nadaiwa shilingi 40, niwe na shilingi 20 nikadipe mwenye duka tukubaliane, achukue, abaka kinidai tena shilingi 20 nimpe kashimani Kenyamani. Si iko vizuri sana.
Miriam, 52-year-old widow, disabled and mother of 4, is among the 500 households who use the virtual community currency SARAFU to sell and pay for food, medicine and other items and services.
Lakini imekuja mfumo umesaidia kwa sababu unaweza kuwa hauna, lakini nyanya ni shilingi 10 ama hiyo tomato ni shilingi 10. Lakini unafika pale uko na shilingi 5. Na kwenye simu uko na sarafu. Kwa hivyo unaweza ukampa ile shilingi 5 alafu ukamtumia na sarafu 5. Inakuwa umesaidika.
In Kisauni alone, over 6,500 people trade with SARAFU, a community inclusion currency supported by Kenya Red Cross.
I can use that now for external services that need the Kenyan money. So for instance, if I have a pharmacy, or if I have a grocery, then if I'm selling sukuma wiki for 50 shillings, I can actually sell that for 30 Kenyan money and 20 SARAFU. That way I have recovered my investment, but I've also made a profit in SARAFU. And then I can take that SARAFU and go and buy unga on the other side. So it's a bit of an exchange. If you look at it, it's going back in the olden days of barter trade, but in this time we're now including a digital currency into it.
One SARAFU, which is equal to 1 Kenyan shilling, is able to multiply when community members engage in income-generating activities or even their businesses, as they exchange SARAFU credits, which allow them to save up on their Kenyan shilling. Designed by Grassroots Economics and funded by the Danish Red Cross, implemented by Kenya Red Cross, the project that began in 2020 is now successful in Mukuru Kayaba, Kawangware, Kakuma, and Kisauni sub-county in Mombasa. SARAFU, which in a way is a virtual community currency, is helping communities navigate through this pandemic. Now this is SARAFU Street, where majority of the shops are using SARAFU to buy commodities from each other. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Harriet Chimea. In SARAFU Street, Kisauni, Mombasa.
Intriguing, they even have a name, SARAFU Street. Now, this is just a tip of the iceberg on what to expect on our weekly edition of Bunge la Mwananchi with Mejibu Kitsao after a short commercial break.
Asron hata yeye mwenyewe atajaribu baba, ninajua hawezi weza baba. Baba ni mtu wa kutetemeza nchi. Akitetemeza anatetemeza Kisii, anatetemeza huko Ukambani, anatetemeza Mombasa, anatetemeza Nairobi.
Hata hasla ametetemesha sana pale Kiambaa.
Kiambaa hata baba alitetemeza Kisii. Ukilinganisha huko na hapa yote inafana.
Welcome back and thank you for keeping it Switch TV. A section of Kenyans now say the future of One Kenya Alliance lies in the hands of ODM leader Raila Odinga. On our weekly edition of Bunge la Mwananchi with Mejibu Kitsao, a section of them are of the opinion that only Raila Odinga feels to face Deputy President William Ruto head-on in the coming general elections. Take a look.
Wakenya wengi wanasafa. Tunajua pesa ni mingi Kenya, lakini iko kwa mifuko ya wachache.
Uchumi wa nchi unazorota. Nchi ni yetu sote.
Well, once again, welcome to Bunge la MWANANCHI. I am Majibu Kizam. The One Kenya Alliance have unveiled a roadmap leading to their eventual exit from the once vibrant NASA coalition. Well, this setting the stage for a possible 2022 third force. Who is the best candidate to face the DP, Dr. William Ruto, come 2022? Who is the best candidate to face the hustler head-to-head come 2022? It is a conversation we'll be having here at the Bunge la MWANANCHI. Join me.
Nikiangalia leader kamili ni Kalonzo Musyoka.
Kalonzo ndiye anayetosha mboga.
Kalonzo Musyoka katika hoga ndio anaweza tosha mboga kwa oga. Of which
anatosha kumenyana na hustler.
Hustler ni kama fanjini. Ndio maumbile ni mwanamke, lakini hajazaa. Anaweza kuwa tasa. Ni nani anajua ni nani mvuazi wa Asra? Kwa sababu kitu ya kwanza yeye mwenyewe nikimwangalia ni deputy president katika chama cha Jubilee. Yeye mwenyewe anajitangaza ni kama mwanamke ambaye ametoka kwa bwanake anaenda kulala na mwingine nje. Kwa hivyo sasa hakuna mtu anaweza kumwamini. Wakati ile ambaye atakayetoka kama mwanaume ajitokeze kama leader ndio tunaweza kumfima.
Lakini hata hustler ana usemi sana ukiangalia juzi pale Kiambaa ameonyesha ubabe wake kisasa. Je, unadhani kwamba bado hatoshi mboga?
Bro, wacha nikwambie. Najua ni nini ambaye anafanya. Ukiangalia pale Kiambaa ilikuwa 21,000 plus, 21,000 plus. That means hawa watu ambao wako tayari kuwa na support nini handshake ni 21,000. Wale ambao wanajidai kwamba wako against handshake ni 21,000.
Kwa oka hapo ni Musalia Mudavadi, lakini
asiende hivi hivi.
Hii chama ya Wilbaro bado iko mbele sana, imewashinda nguvu kabisa.
Hustler kwa mbele.
Asoro hata yeye mwenyewe atajaribu baba, ninajua hawezi weza baba. Baba ni mtu wa kutetemeza nchi. Akitetemeza anatetemeza Kisii, anatetemeza huko Ukambani, anatetemeza Mombasa, anatetemeza Nairobi.
Hata hustler ametetemesha sana pale Kiambaa.
Kiambaa hata baba alitetemeza Kisii. Ukilinganisha huko na hapa yote inafanana.
Ni madhara kubwa sana kutuwekea William Samoei Ruto ati waende na mtu kama Mudavadi ama hiyo ni okoa Kenya ama inaitwa.
Nadhani kwamba pale One Kenya Alliance hamna anayetosha mboga kabisa.
Hamna, nionyeshe atakayetosha mboga kumbwaga WLSR William Samoei Ruto. Hamna. Hiyo ni kuenda mochari uone mtu ameaga na ulete mwingine amelala. Hiyo huwezi fanya comparison.
Kalonzo Musyoka having backup from his backyard na coastal Kenya stands a very clear chance to become a flag bearer wa Oka.
Wote watasunguke, mwisho watarudi kwa baba. Na mwisho baba atawapanga kwa hiyo nyumba yao ya Oka. Bila baba hawana stability.
Kwa bila baba hawaendi mahali.
Kuna bali wanaenda, wanasunguka hivi kurudi kwa baba mwenyewe. Na yeye mwenyewe atawapatia mwelekeo. Na baba ana stability ya kupigana na hasala.
Na kuambia, unajua mwenyewe Dr. William Samoei Ruto alisema kwamba ule mtu atakayepambana naye labda tu awe ni Raila Amolo Odinga. Lakini hao wengine hata kuwa na wakati wa kwenda kufanya kampeni, ataenda tu pale Sugoi, atafute ng'ombe wake aanze kukamua huku akiimba wimbo unaitwa Emily Chepchumba la kwani bokeyo ya mune mama. Atakuwa naimba Emily Chepchumba na akingoja kuja kuapishwa.
Unasema pale One Kenya Alliance hamna anayetosha mboga kabisa.
Wale wote ukiwaona hawana chochote, hawana. Nani atakuambia kwamba anaweza ni nani ana uwezo wa kwenda kupambana na William Samoei Ruto?
Tunakuja tunaangalia ni nani anaweza face tear gas direct katika hiyo One Kenya Alliance.
Ni nani huyo?
Tunawaona wote ni malenge, wote ni watermelon.
Hamna anayetosha mboga.
Hakuna mtu atasimamia tear gas hata dakika 5 hapo, wote watakuwa ndani ya magari.
Well, that's all we had for you from the Bunge la MWANANCHI. I am Majibu Kisao. Many thanks to all those who made this conversation a success, all those who contributed. My camera person, Francis Karaoke. Till next time, stay safe.
Wakenya wengi wanasafa. Unajua pesa ni mingi Kenya, lakini iko kwa mifuko ya wachache.
Uchumi wa nchi unazorota. Nchi ni yetu sote.
With the real estate industry dusting itself from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, developers are positive that the market is slowly but steadily opening up. However, they are citing hardship in access to funding as a current problem that will pull back the industry's recovery process. Our business reporter Bron Wende has more.
With COVID-19 taking a huge toll on real estate industry in the year 2020, there has been a significant rise in demand for cheaper and more affordable rental options. This has led to a turnover in high-end developments, which in return has catalyzed the potential for private developers in the affordable housing market. According to Almond Estate Company Managing Director Chris Washira, the private sector in real estate has already started regaining its strength as we head to the second half of 2021.
In this first half of the year, though it is slow, but there's still a marching demand that people will have seen the need to invest.
However, with lack of trust playing out between real estate developers and the market, the off-plan model, where buyers first invest and then receive their units once completed, has proven to be a challenge, forcing developers to change their model.
What we have come along with is what we call complete unit. In this case, we have the funds to do construction. So we are not asking the market and the buyer or our client to give us his money so that we build for them.
Apart from the dwindling trust, the developer decries of challenges in accessing funds.
The process of getting funding is so long, so tedious, and also demanding, and it is also costly.
Brian Munda, Switch TV, Nairobi.